When your dog sleeps with you, do you actually understand what they're trying to communicate? Sure, it's heartwarming, but beneath that cozy companionship, there's something much deeper happening that most owners completely overlook. It's one of the most emotionally significant behaviors your dog can display. And if you misread it, which countless pet parents do, you might be missing crucial messages they've been sending you every single night. Let's dive into what that bedtime bonding truly reveals. 1. It was never just about comfort. So why does your dog actually choose to sleep beside you? Most people think it's straightforward. Dogs seek warmth, you provide heat, case closed. But here's what's really happening. Dogs are masters at finding comfortable spots. Sunny patches by windows, cozy corners near heaters, soft cushions warmed by afternoon light, that perfect spot on the living room rug. If physical comfort was their only motivation, they'd have countless alternatives. So why do they consistently pick you? Because sleep represents a dog's most vulnerable state. Every survival instinct they possess tells them to find a secluded spot, somewhere protected, somewhere potential threats cannot approach. Yet they bypass every safe hiding place in your house and choose to rest beside a human who outweighs them significantly. This isn't about temperature regulation. This demonstrates trust at a level most dog owners never fully grasp. Research in animal behavior shows that dogs develop attachment patterns with their humans, remarkably similar to how children bond with parents. When your dog decides to sleep next to you, they're conveying something they cannot express in words. You make me feel secure enough to completely lower my defenses. And here's something important. If your dog suddenly stops sleeping with you, after years of doing so, don't dismiss it as a phase. We'll explore what that shift really means later, and it's information every dog owner should understand immediately. 2. They're creating a shared scent signature. Have you ever watched your dog circle, knead, or press against you before settling down for the night? That's not random nesting behavior. It's chemical communication. Dogs possess scent glands throughout their bodies, particularly around their face, paws, and base of their tail. When they rub against you, they're depositing invisible scent markers, but most people miss the deeper significance. When your dog sleeps pressed against you night after night, they're not simply marking territory, they're blending your scent with theirs. In pack dynamics, dogs who belong to the same family group share a collective scent profile. It's their way of identifying safety and belonging without making any sound. When your dog weaves their smell into yours through consistent contact, they're performing an ancient bonding ritual. They're declaring to themselves and any other animal that you belong together. This explains why your dog might sniff you thoroughly when you return from somewhere unfamiliar. Your scent has changed. You've lost some of that shared smell, and their nighttime closeness helps restore what was missing. If you're finding this fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog lovers who want to truly understand their canine companions on a deeper level. 3. They believe they're your personal guardian. Ever notice how your dog chooses specific sleeping positions? Maybe they curl up by your feet. Perhaps they stretch along your back. Maybe they position themselves near your head. These aren't random choices. They're tactical decisions. Here's something that might surprise you. Even the most pampered house dog retains the instincts of their wild ancestors. And those ancestors understood protection strategies. When your dog positions themselves beside you during sleep, part of their ancient programming believes they're standing watch. This behavior traces back thousands of years. In wild canine communities, pack members took turns monitoring for danger while others rested. It wasn't just about social bonding, it was survival strategy. Your dog, regardless of how domesticated they are, hasn't forgotten this protective code. Observe where your dog sleeps. If they face the bedroom door, they're watching the main entry point. If they sleep near your head, they're guarding your most vulnerable area. They understand they're smaller than potential threats. They don't care. Something deep in their genetic memory says this human is mine to protect. Now, would your dog actually confront a real intruder? Maybe not effectively, but in their mind, they've accepted responsibility and show up for that duty every single night. 4. Every sleeping position tells a story. Does your dog curl into a tight ball, spread out like they own half the mattress, or sleep with their back toward you? Each position communicates something different about their emotional state. Let's decode what they're really saying. The tight curl represents the most defensive posture a dog can take. It protects their belly, tucks vulnerable limbs close, and shields vital organs. If your dog consistently sleeps this way, they feel safe enough to be near you, but haven't quite reached complete security. It's trust mixed with caution. The full sprawl tells a completely different story. Legs extended, belly exposed, sometimes even upside down. This position signals absolute confidence. A dog showing their stomach believes totally that nothing harmful will happen in your presence. They've abandoned every protective instinct that normally keeps them guarded. What about when they turn their back to you? Some owners interpret this as rejection. Don't. In canine communication, turning your back to someone means you trust them so completely you don't need to monitor them. It's actually a profound compliment. And then there's the full contact press, when your dog sleeps wedged against you, claiming minimal space between your bodies. That's the strongest declaration of all. They want zero separation from you. That's not clingy behavior. That's pure devotion. 5. They rewire their internal clock just for you. Have you ever wondered why your dog seems to wake when you do and settle down when you prepare for bed? That's not coincidence. It's a conscious adaptation they made specifically for you. Dogs are naturally crepuscular animals. Their bodies are designed to be most active during dawn and dusk hours. It's when their wild relatives hunted. It's when their instincts tell them to be alert, not resting. So naturally, a dog's schedule shouldn't align with human patterns at all. But bonded dogs do something remarkable. They override their own biological programming. Studies of domestic dogs reveal that canines living closely with humans gradually shift their sleep and activity cycles to mirror their owners. They stay awake longer during daylight hours. They sleep more deeply at night, not because it feels natural, but because that's when you're available. Think about the significance of that adjustment. Your dog's entire internal rhythm, developed over thousands of years of evolution, gets restructured so they can spend more time synchronized with your world. This also explains why dogs often greet you at the door or appear right before your alarm sounds. They've learned your patterns. They've synchronized themselves to your schedule, not from habit, but from genuine preference. 6. They detect your emotions before you recognize them yourself. Ever experienced a stressful day and noticed your dog suddenly becomes extra attentive? That's not random timing. They sensed something was wrong before you even acknowledged it verbally. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to the people they've bonded with, and science is beginning to validate what dog owners have intuited for years. Your dog can read your emotional state better than you might imagine. Research demonstrates that dogs can identify subtle changes in human behavior, body language, and even chemical signals. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol, your movements change, your breathing shifts. Your dog notices all these variations. They don't understand why you're upset, but they know something feels different. This explains why some dogs become extra affectionate when their owner is ill, anxious, or grieving. They're not just being sweet. They're responding to genuine signals you're transmitting without realizing it. And sleeping beside you gives them direct access to your emotional baseline. Your heart rate, your restlessness, your breathing patterns. Night after night, they're gathering information. They're learning what your normal state feels like. When something changes, they notice immediately. 7. When they suddenly stop, pay close attention. What does it mean when a dog who has always slept with you suddenly stops? This is what I mentioned earlier, and it's crucial information every dog owner needs to understand. If your dog has been sleeping beside you for months or years and that behavior suddenly changes, don't ignore the shift. Dogs are creatures of routine. When they break a pattern this significant, they're trying to communicate something important. Sometimes the reason is physical. Pain, illness, or discomfort can make a dog seek solitude. Dogs instinctively isolate themselves when they don't feel well. It's a protective mechanism. If your older dog suddenly prefers sleeping alone, a veterinary examination is worth considering. Other times, the cause is environmental. A new pet, a different person in the house, changes in daily routine. Dogs are sensitive to alterations in their territory. Something that seems minor to you might feel overwhelming to them. Sometimes it's emotional. Dogs have excellent memories. If something frightened them in the bedroom, or if conflict occurred in that space, they might withdraw to protect themselves emotionally. The key is paying attention to the change. Your dog chose to sleep with you because they trusted you completely. If that changes, they're not being moody or difficult. They're communicating something important. Listen, observe, and if necessary, gently help them rediscover that feeling of safety. Because that nightly ritual was never insignificant to them, and it shouldn't be insignificant to you either. So the next time your dog chooses that familiar spot beside you, remember this. They're not just finding a place to sleep. They're choosing you. And in their world, that choice means safety, loyalty, and a bond that runs deeper than words could ever explain. So tonight, when your dog curls up beside you, remember what that choice really means. This is Charlie, Sit, helping you understand the mind behind the wag. Good night.